The movie starts with a young woman named Clover. She is haunted by guilt because 1 year ago, her sister Melanie vanished without a trace after the two had a bitter argument. To find answers, Clover convinces her ex-boyfriend Max and their friends, Nina, Megan, and Abe, to drive out to a deserted, creepy mining town called Glore Valley. On the dark road, they stop at a strange gas station. The odd attendant, Dr. Hill, stares at them and gives a chilling warning. People who take this road never come back. They ignore him and keep driving. Suddenly, a violent rainstorm starts out of nowhere. To escape the weather, they run inside an abandoned visitor center. Strangely, they realize the storm is only pouring directly over their building, while the surrounding forest is completely dry. Inside, Clover gasps as she finds a faded missing poster of her sister on the wall. Before anyone can react, a large antique hourglass on a desk flips over by itself, and the lights crash out. A terrifying masked killer carrying a sharp pickaxe steps out of the shadows. He brutally hacks all 5 friends to death, one by one. But the moment Clover dies, she snaps awake with a gasp. She is back in the car with her friends, arriving at Glore Valley on the exact same evening. The music builds as she realizes they are trapped in a sinister time loop, forced to live this horrific night over and over. On the second night, the nightmare changes. Instead of the killer, a dark supernatural force possesses Megan's body, twisting her bones and killing her from the inside. Clover flees into a ruined building where she meets a decaying, ancient old woman. The woman whispers a terrifying rule. They must survive until the morning sun breaks, or they will become a permanent part of the mountain. When Abe and Nina panic and try to drive away, a towering, horrific monster blocks the forest road, and the masked killer tracks them down to slaughter them again. After dying and resetting multiple times, the group discovers the ultimate rule of Glore Valley. They only have 13 lives. With each rebirth, the time loop ruins their physical bodies, making their skin pale and their veins black. In one horrific loop, they hide in a bathroom and drink the tap water to calm down. But the contaminated liquid causes their bodies to violently explode from the inside out. Through these repeating loops, they find old VHS tapes revealing that a mining collapse years ago buried the townspeople alive, and Dr. Hill was the therapist who went insane trying to treat the survivors. Clover also realizes her own deep grief and depression are feeding the evil energy of the loop. Finally, the 13th and last night arrives. Their bodies are weak and decaying. Suddenly, Megan vanishes from the room, dragged down into the dark underground mining tunnels. Clover and Max grab weapons and head into the creepy caves, fighting off hordes of aggressive, pale monsters called Wendigos. Deep in the shadows, Clover faces a heartbreaking climax. The main Wendigo hunting them is her own sister, Melanie, who survived the mining accident a year ago, but turned into a flesh-eating monster due to starvation. Crying bitterly, Clover uses a weapon to kill her own sister and end her suffering. At the end of the tunnel, Clover finds Megan locked in a cage inside an old sanatorium room. Standing there is Dr. Hill. In a massive twist, Dr. Hill reveals that this entire nightmare is a psychological experiment on human fear. The monsters and the masked killer were physical manifestations born directly from Clover's own mind, grief, and trauma. While Dr. Hill talks, Clover secretly slips the explosive bathroom water into his coffee mug. Dr. Hill drinks it and instantly explodes. The remaining masked killer attacks, but Max and Clover team up, fighting brutally until they destroy the killer once and for all. The moment the killer dies, the antique hourglass shatters and the time loop breaks. The dark night fades as the beautiful morning sun finally rises over the mountains. Clover and Megan emerge into the daylight as the only survivors. As the emergency rescue teams arrive, Clover looks at the sunrise, knowing her guilt is finally gone and a new day has begun.